A 39-year-old leader who holds the title of the youngest leader in the world, a leader who, since coming to power, has publicly showcased at least 23 bizarre and strange execution methods, someone who claims to have written over 1,500 books during his schooling, the leader of North Korea. If you want to become familiar with 6 of the most horrific and terrifying execution methods carried out during Mr. Kim Jong Un's rule, stay with us until the end of the video. Today, as we mentioned, we want to talk about the weirdest and most bizarre execution methods in North Korea, or better to say, in today's world. These are the methods that the leader of the North Korea personally uses to deal with his opponents. Methods that are so cruel and horrifying that it can even harden the hearts of the most callous individuals. Number 1. Killing the suspect with the help of a pond full of flesh-eating piranhas. Some time ago, the Mirror newspaper reported that North Korea executed one of its army generals in the style of James Bond films by throwing him into a pond full of flesh-eating piranhas. According to Western media reports, this North Korean army general was possibly thrown into a pond of flesh-eating piranhas located at the residence of Mr. Kim Jong Un, the leader of North Korea. Some believe that before throwing this general into the mentioned pond, his limbs and torso were cut with a knife. The Mirror newspaper believes that the leadership of North Korea used a method reminiscent of one of the James Bond films produced in 1977 called The Spy Who Loved Me for the execution of this army general. Regardless of the truth of this story, opponents of the North Korean regime have reported many stories of horrific and terrible executions of opponents by the regime of Mr. Kim Jong Un over the years. Number 2. Execution with anti-aircraft and mortars. The body is cut into pieces. In 2016, the leader of North Korea, after initiating a wide-scale cleansing of the country's political system, executed many veteran generals, including some close to his father. In this purge, at least 2 ministers were arrested and immediately executed, one being the Minister of Agriculture and the next Minister of Education. According to the Western media, the Minister of Education was sentenced to death because he dozed off in a meeting with the leader of North Korea, and together with the Minister of Agriculture, they were executed by firing an anti-aircraft cannon to serve as a lesson to other officials in the country. Furthermore, in 2020, the official media of the North Korean government warned that films, music, and foreign languages could cause ideological and cultural poisoning of the North Korean people. In 2017, in line with this warning, a defector from North Korea claimed to have witnessed the execution of 11 musicians by anti-aircraft gunfire, allegedly ordered by Mr. Kim Jong Un himself. 26-year-old Jong Un, who is the daughter of a senior military officer from Pyongyang, says that as a child of one of the top figures in North Korean government, she witnessed horrific scenes. Jong Un says she and her classmate were taken to a stadium at the Pyongyang Military Academy where they saw people with their heads and faces covered and tied to the end of anti-aircraft cannon barrels. While more than 10,000 people were watching this execution at the same moment, then these balls are fired one by one and the victims are cut into pieces. This 26-year-old girl says more that every time one of the cannons shot at them, the musicians disappeared and their bodies were dismembered. It was completely destroyed and blood and pieces of meat were thrown everywhere. In 2013, Kim Jong Un did not even spare his own uncle, executing Jang Son-tak on charges of treason using the same method. Number 3. Murder through seductive woman. Dangerous women lurk in opposition to the North Korean leader. One famous assassination method employed by the North Korean leader is killing the target through trained women. After seducing the intended target and getting close to them, they carry out the murder. Sometimes, however, the relationship between the woman and the target may not be very intimate, and the assassin kills them after a brief, shallow conversation without deep engagement with the victim. The method was employed in the case of Kim Jong-nam, the half-brother of the North Korean leader. During Kim Jong-nam's lifetime, many regarded him as the true successor to his father, but in 2001, after allegedly attempting to enter Japan illegally to visit Tokyo Disneyland, he apparently fell out of favor with his father and lost his official position. After that, he lived mainly in Singapore, China, and most notably in Macau. In February 2017, Kim Jong-nam was poisoned with VX nerve agent by a woman with a cloth soaked in the gas at Kuala Lumpur International Airport, Malaysia, and was en route to Macau. The poison immediately began affecting his nervous system, causing him to initially experience tremors, and within just 15 to 20 minutes, he succumbed to his injuries on the way to the hospital. If you're someone who seeks new knowledge about the world around you every day, we'd be honored to have you subscribe to us, and with just a few seconds of your time, hit the subscribe button. If you're enjoying this one, please like the video. Number 4. Execution at the stadium in the presence of over 170,000 people. Contrary to other executions would usually take place discreetly in prisons and specialized camps, this method of execution is carried out publicly in large stadiums in front of the eyes of over 170,000 people. Interestingly, 21 out of the 23 types of executions conducted during Kim Jong Un's leadership have been by this method of public execution. One eyewitness to the execution by firing squad in 2012 said, "The individual in question was dragged out of the car like a dog before being put in front of the ordinary people. The person slated for execution seemed to be on the brink of death already and appeared to have suffered damage to their ears, rendering them unable to hear or speak." In another case, in Wonhae province in the north of North Korea, a person was tied to a stake and shot in 2014 with their mouth stuffed with dirt. Number 5. Throw the victims in front of hungry dogs. This method may remind us more of Ramsay Bolton, one of the most evil characters in the Game of Thrones series. However, many believe that Kim Jong Un also used this method in the execution of his opponents. According to the reports of Fox News, the North Korean leader has some terrible wild dogs that sometimes when he wants to execute certain victims, he keeps them hungry and then throws the angry convicts in front of these dogs to carry them away. It is known that Kim used this method in the murder of Jang Song, who was the brother and one of his father's commanders. These acts were arrested and executed for the crime of treason to North Korea and spending people's property in foreign casinos. Number 6. Execution by flamethrower and burning the condemned. Another gruesome method of execution used in North Korea is the use of large flamethrowers, typically used in warfare, but in this country they are used to burn the condemned alive. Some Western media spread the rumor that Kim Jong Un threw his uncle's body in front of his hungry dogs after being executed by shooting. The UK's Mirror newspaper believes that Kim employed this method in the execution of Mr. Oh Sang-hun, the former head of North Korea's public security apparatus. According to reports, Kim Jong Un used this method several times, with the most notorious example being the execution of his own security general. Given the horrific methods of execution in North Korea, is there a more mysterious, terrifying, and dreadful country than North Korea on our planet? Or can North Korea claim the title of the worst place to live in the world? I kindly ask all of you to share your thoughts in the comment section with us. To see more interesting videos, subscribe to our channel and activate the bell. Take care until the next video.